Welcome to the Islamic Masculinity Program at the Brave Deen Academy. This is a flagship program that is unprecedented, the first of its kind, and unlike any other. Now, I've checked, I've seen, I've researched, and I've looked at the other Islamic masculinity programs that are out there, and though they do provide some of the characteristics and perspectives, looking at some of the more common sources, such as looking at the Quran, the examples of Islamic men throughout history, the seerah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his righteous Sahaba, the caliphates, and even different battles and warrior imams along the way. These analyses have been conducted for a very long time, and I'm sure they will continue to be done. There is, unfortunately, a tremendous gap that remains to be filled, and that is what the Islamic Masculinity Program from Brave Deen Academy aims to fill. How do I know this, and how am I the one who's going to fill this gap? Early on in my life, I was searching and looking for answers everywhere. I was born into a Kafir family, and so of course, somehow early on, I felt that I didn't know the right way forward, and I was pretty sure nobody around me knew either. From the things that I was seeing around me, the evil, the harm, the lies, the misbehavior, my fitrah knew inherently that these people were lost, and I had no one around me who was on the right path. Every single different place that I looked, I realized that this wasn't it either, and I searched through everything. Red pill, blue pill, purple pill, black pill, through the different religious and political ideologies that exist. And of course, now, being a Muslim, I know that there was only ever one true religion, and coming back home to Islam has been the best decision of my life, and it illuminated so much that previously was in the dark. It gave me a certainty, a level of health, a degree of personal courage and dedication that I have never felt in my life before. Alhamdulillah for Hidayah, and may Allah reach Islam into every deserving heart. After a lifelong search, after reaching over 36 years of age, becoming a father, after having been a paramedic, saving lives, literally seeing life and death for over 10 years, having worked with police, firefighters, and literally working with contractors and mercenaries and soldiers in a war zone, after touring different countries, seeing different conflict zones, from cartel-ridden Brazil and Colombia, all the way to the mountains of Kyrgyzstan, after having been in different times, continents, cultures, languages, seeing all of this, seeing the different kinds of men, and the most masculine and the least among them. Being on all of these adventures, it's taken me literally around the globe. I've seen a lot of humanity as it is now, and I've seen the best and the worst. And I can tell you with complete certainty that Islam does contain all of the answers to the problems that we see in the Ummah and in the world today. Every single problem that we see today, brothers and sisters, it has its answer in Islam. I realized that the single most important reason that our Ummah is declining is because of the lack of Islamic masculinity. In fact, this can be traced back to the root of every single problem. It is the reason that our families are falling apart. Men have become weak, and they are allowing the women to lead, and the women resent them and despise them for it. Women have become infected with feminism because their fathers are not protecting them and are sending them into evil educational institutions that inject them with secular liberalist ideals. There's been an increase in divorces, an increase in zina, an increase in narcotics, families pulled apart by abuse, violence. It's the reason for so many harms in this ummah today, the disintegration of communities, as men and women are unable to marry and unable to understand each other and lose their Islamic values. Men and women both have become so degraded. Lies, cheating, stealing, an inability to trust one another. It has led to Muslims despising one another. Think back on all those times when you desperately wished that you had a mentor, someone who knew the way forward, And if they were willing to listen, you knew that they would never take advantage of you. They weren't going to harm you or betray you or use your secrets or use you. Have you ever even met someone like this? Because before, this was the norm. This was the Islamic man. These were the people who filled the gap before, and their lack costs us dearly. How many injustices have been committed against you in this life where you needed a proper Islamic judge or a mentor to guide you, to give you that time, to establish justice on those involved? We need to find a solution. It all comes back to the same reason: a lack of true Islamic masculinity. The gap between where we are now and where we could have been or could be, that is the gap that this program aims to fill. And the only way we will fill that gap is by rising up and becoming such men, or at least trying our best for the sake of the next generation. Everyone thinks that Muslims are the worst of people now. And why is that? It is because we do not have any proper Islamic men to show what Islam truly is. And it has affected this entire ummah and this entire world. Now is the time that we reclaim this Islamic masculinity. We find out what this is, how it has been missing from our lives for so long, and how it has affected us in every single realm of life. Many of us will automatically know and see the truth of this as soon as we hear it. It will be like remembering something you forgot, something that was programmed into you from the very beginning. And for some, it may actually be a significantly difficult journey to untangle the knotted mess of all the things we thought were actually from Islam, but actually weren't. Things that we thought were acceptable, but are actually from the world of the kuffar and have poisoned us, tainted us, taken us off the path. In fact, the best evidence for Islamic masculinity is that the most harmful of people, such as gangsters or people who use other people and bring them into harmful extremist organizations, they just have a few of these Islamic masculinity characteristics, but they combine it with evil and with negativity, and even just a few characteristics of strength and leadership. Just that was enough to bring hordes of people to even the wrong cause. Think of what could happen with a person who is positive and generative and builds people up and brings them to the right cause, the cause of the Sharia, the cause of Khalifa, which will create the right government that Allah designed to protect us, to unite us, to make Muslims the first on this dunya again, the way that we should be. That is the importance of this program. And that is what I have been working on for the last 20 years of my life. Though I didn't know it at the time when I started it. I was looking for the answer to unify humanity, looking for an answer for all of the answers to these problems in this dunya. And when I found Islam, found that it had all of these answers, but nobody was implementing it, subhanallah, it was tremendously sad, but also tremendously inspiring. I knew I couldn't stop until I shared this. And so, brothers and sisters, as you listen to this program, know that it is a vitally important program, and I sincerely believe it is the most important program that you may ever listen to. Take your time as you go through it. Really take time to understand these concepts, the evidences and the proofs, to apply them in your life, and understand that these characteristics, they really take some time to dig in. See the parallels in your own life and in the lives of those around you. Understand the spectrum of these different characteristics. You will find that everything in your life becomes better. Your relationships will heal. Your heart will heal. Your deen will become stronger. You will become closer to Allah, and you will start living life closer to what the Sahaba radiallahu anhum lived. We can build a better man again. We can build warrior imams again. And those warrior imams will build marriages, that will build families, that will build communities, that will build an ummah again. And it begins between you and me, my dear brother. It begins with us. It begins between our connections, between the way we behave with our own selves, taking ourselves to account, being accountable and responsible. And just think about how different your life would be if you were everything that you could really be. My brothers, this program is for you, my dear brother. This ummah has rights on you, and you have rights on this ummah. And it is only by you becoming a better man, by becoming everything that you can really be, the best of yourself. It is only by doing that that you will be able to fulfill the obligations upon you, that you will be able to watch this ummah stand on its feet again, that you will be able to participate in the rise of a true Muslim Khalifa. We put aside our jealousy, we put aside our divisions, especially in the face of these existential crises that are facing this ummah. For the first time, we have witnessed the death of millions of Muslims, and nobody is doing anything about it. What we need to do is very, very different, and that is what this program contains the answers to. It contains the answers to that and so much more. You will see what real Sharia is. You will see its beauty and its fairness over the generations. You will see how Islamic Khalifas were safe havens for the Jews as well. In fact, the safest times that the Jews were ever alive was when they lived under the Islamic caliphates. They were destroyed and genocided under the Christians, not the Muslims. How ironic is it that today it is the Muslims who are suffering for the evil that was committed by the Christians against the Jews? Once our caliphates were destroyed, the Jewish populations had no safe place to go. It is our duty to relearn what it is to be Muslim men. We live in a time where there is no guide for masculinity. Mentors have become confused about masculinity itself. And as I mentioned, there is a war going on right now, and the war is for your fitrah. The war is to corrupt your idea of masculinity, of the Deen itself. And it's raging with red pill and feminism and liberal secularism on TikTok and X and Twitter and YouTube, all of these social media platforms which show up in your advertising in your daily life, slowly shifting your idea of what it is to be a man and how you should behave and how your Deen is and what the truth is. These have changed your values little by little over time on what you think is normal, masculine, acceptable, tolerable. It's all changed. Do you even know what a real man is anymore? We are almost breaking, brothers and sisters. It can't go any further. This is the line, and it stops now. And you will either hold the line with me, or you will fall, and you will fall into oblivion. Now is the time. This is the rally call to my Muslim brothers. This is the time that we stand together. This is the time to make our last stand, brothers and sisters, for yourselves, for your families, for our communities, and for our ummah. And this is the generation where we begin the process to rebuild Khalifa and to save Islam on this dunya, inshaAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.